Liverpool Domestic Abuse Service, LDAS for short, is a charity set up to support women and the children indirectly who have experienced domestic abuse.
It's their normal, and then once we teach them the tactics of the abuser, they realise that it's not a normal life to be living. I think what would happen with these women if these groups weren't here would be that they would stay in the abusive relationships, or they would go back to being in them abusive relationships. They wouldn't learn. So if they left one perpetrator, they'd just probably move on to another perpetrator. And sometimes it could be fatal for them to go back. So these groups are really about saving these women's lives sometimes.
I didn't realise that I was in a domestic abuse relationship until I actually came to LDAS and started the Freedom programme about 6 years ago.
I knew that, I needed to get out the relationship, but what I didn't realise was the person I was in that relationship was never going to let that happen.
He did comment one time, I said I was leaving, and he said, "Not if I kill you first." I realised then, in 2013, I had to get out, or I was dead.
So the funding that we've accessed through the Ellie Trust has enabled us to employ for the very first time a group facilitator. And our waiting lists now are minimal. We've got 5 programmes running of a morning, Freedom programme, and we have 5 programmes of an afternoon, Toolkit Recovery. And we're able to support hundreds of women now every year on them programmes.
The recovery taught me more so how to move on from the abuse and realise that it's not my fault. So a lot of the anger that I was feeling towards myself is no longer there. So it's just moving forward. The Freedom also taught me the early warning signs for abuse. So the things I'd normally be attracted to or drawn towards, I now know are red flags.
The course helped me to do, and the counselling that I had was I went from being a victim to a survivor.
I think Ellie would be really, really proud to know that the money that we've received has employed a full-time facilitator, and we're able to support hundreds of women every year to improve their lives and move on to a better future, free from violence and abuse.
It's the best thing I ever did. I walked into that small office, and that lady believed me when I'd been told for many years that nobody would. For me, they've given me my life back.
It felt like a loving arms around me. That's the best way I could describe it, because I did feel very alone. I was homeless, I had nowhere to go, and wherever I went, he seemed to find me.
If it wasn't for LDAS, I imagine that I'd be in a really bad mental state. I don't think I'd be a good parent, because I wasn't present, I wasn't there as a person myself. And I honestly believe I'd probably have ended up either back in that relationship or maybe in a similar relationship, because I just didn't recognise the signs.
It's made me look at future me. Who am I and who I'm going to be? And I'm not going to let this define my life, really.
LDAS gave me the confidence to get me freedom back, and I wouldn't have me freedom or me safety if it wasn't for them.
It's still hard. It's really hard. But the help and recognition from LDAS, the support I've had from everyone there, even the group ladies, have been amazing.
We would love to thank the Ellie Trust for what they've done. You've revolutionised how we deliver our programmes. You've reduced our waiting list, you've taken stress off our shoulders, and we couldn't be more delighted with having a full-time member of staff now who delivers our programmes full-time. It's fantastic. Thank you very much, Ellie Trust.